All right, y'all. We are trying this one more time. Linda and I are determined to get on here live so she can share with you the amazing work that she does. And yeah, I apologize for the technical difficulties. If it doesn't work this time around, then we will figure out another way to get Linda in front of you, because I think that you are going to be so inspired by the work that she does. So again, Linda Buckman, she is a personal style therapist, and she helps women befriend their bodies and look divine. And her and I bonded over our mutual passion to help women and men really love their bodies. And the way that she does that is through expression and their own personal style. So I'm so excited for you to hear everything that she has to say. And yeah, I am just waiting for her to request to go live with me. And yeah, then we will see how this goes. So Linda, again, if you see me live, go ahead and just comment or request to join the video. And yeah, in the meantime, I'm curious if y'all noticed that I cut my hair off. It's gone. I cut off like 6 inches right before this video. And it's kind of freaking me out to like see myself with such short hair. But yeah, it's also exciting at the same time. Okay, Linda, I see you're watching. And let's see. Yes, here we go. Okay, hopefully this is better. Okay. Linda!
Yes!
Oh my gosh, and it sounds so much better too.
Yes! Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm strangling myself with my headphones. Hang on just a sec.
No, you're fine.
Oh. Okay.
Here we go.
I'm here.
You're here. You're here. We did it. You sound great. And
thank you.
Great. And I am so happy. I'm glad we gave it that, like, I guess that's probably like the third take. Third
yes.
Time to start, right?
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, I just shared a little intro about you with the group. I introduced you as Linda Buckman, personal style therapist, but I really want you to share with everyone what exactly a personal style therapist is, and how you got into this work.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, personal style therapist is the name I've given myself because my work involves so much of the inner woman as well as the outer woman. And for 30 years, I have been a personal stylist. I designed clothing that was sort of a love your body, adaptable line of clothing for women. I created cosmetics. I was a professional makeup artist and a personal stylist. And every time I work with women pretty intimately, either in their closet or doing their makeup, I always got the sense that it didn't matter what the woman looked like, she didn't think she was beautiful. And so I felt some responsibility, or I still do, to helping women change the way that they feel about themselves. So my mission now, in combining all the experience I have had, is to change the paradigm of beauty, to be the woman who loves her body like a faithful friend. And that is the new paradigm, and that women, of course, switching how they think about their bodies and all of the criticisms that they have about them really allows them to bring their beauty out. And beauty is really seen when you feel it on the inside. So I've had a huge variety of clients. I've had, what would be considered classically beautiful clients that don't think that they're beautiful. And it's really an epidemic. And I am very committed as part of this body positive movement to do something about it.
Yeah, well, I think I can speak on behalf of all women in that we are grateful that you exist and your work exists, because it's so needed. And we talked about this before, you and I, that in terms of it being an epidemic, yeah, it is. Like 91% of women and about 30 to 40% of men are dissatisfied with their bodies. And when the statistics are that high, we are forced to ask ourselves why. Like, why we're not born hardwired to hate our bodies. Like, where does that actually come from? And it's, our responsibility to challenge and educate ourselves on what's going on from a cultural perspective and how we can, yeah, challenge that and create a new experience for ourselves. So it's amazing, Linda, that you are doing that work. And yeah, I'm curious for you too, like when you are actually working with a client and helping them befriend their body and look divine, what does that process look like?
Well, the process for me really begins with the inner work. Um, it is, I have a really special kind of assessment that I do where women bring out to me the reasons that they don't think that they're beautiful or that they can't be beautiful. And we talk about all of those reasons. Clearly, the style industry and the fashion industry have not been that friendly to women. And it's not something that I'm proud of. I never liked the approach of fashion. Never liked the fact that all that we really had to tell you about your body was that you were a pear shape or an apple shape or a rectangle or a triangle or whatever. And so I really wanted to find a new way to have women see their body through a different lens. And I sort of threw out all of the style language that I had been using and created something new.
Mm.
So when a woman goes through the process, what she first does is she looks at the qualities of her body, her face, and her temperament to find out whether they're more feminine yin or masculine yang. And so there are similarities in the shapes of your facial features and in your body lines that would tell you whether you're more yin or yang. The yin line is the beautiful curvy line. And so, and it's, a lot of women that are curvy, when they start to see themselves as more yin, and what that means, they let go of the word fat and they let go of the word, apple shape or whatever it is that they've been called. And they start to think about what is the beauty of having a yin body. And the masculine yang body is the one that's more chiseled and straight lined and has a lot of structure to her face. And she is someone who typically likes more masculine clothes. So I've made this connection between your being yin or yang, and it's not just your physical qualities, it's also your inner temperament. So there's a yin temperament and a yang temperament. And you take this quiz that's on my website, right at the top of my website, to find out what your style quotient is, whether you're all yin, your face, body, and temperament. That tells us a lot about the kind of clothes that are going to love your body and are going to express your style. And that's kind of my introduction. So it's very, very new, and I'm real excited because I've now started to talk about the next step, which is the planetary body types that I have been researching and writing about for 10 years. I even held a lot of women's groups to see if these planetary body types really existed in the world, and I found them to exist. And the beauty of these types is that they cover this full range, the full banquet of women, from the most yin, curvy type to the most yang, more masculine style body and personality. And they're all there, and they all have a purpose, and they all contribute to the world. And so it's giving women a new way to see their body. And then once they understand their type, then they know a lot about not just what clothes look good on them, but how people respond to them, and what their purpose is, how their body supports their purpose and goals in life. So all of this is involved in and coming up in my book. My book is not published yet, but I've been working with this system for a long time with my clients, and now I want to bring it out to the world. So we're trying to get an agent for the book and a publisher, and we'll hopefully be able to do that soon.
Yeah, and what I love so much about what you're sharing, Linda, about dressing women is that you're coming from a very inclusive place. Like you're not talking about like hiding something or flattering something or accentuating something. You're talking about working with a woman's individual, unique body. And so often, so I also worked in fashion. So you and I also, we have like some backgrounds in that way. And, you know, a lot of the clients that I work with will tell me that their motivating factor for wanting to lose weight is so that they can fit into clothes that that are more beautiful, that are more flattering, and really like fit into like a size that's like not a plus size, right? A size that's sold in like mainstream stores and all of those types of things. And I just feel like what you said before about the fashion industry not being kind to women, it's just so spot on. And even particularly with like the sizing, right? Because sizing is so arbitrary, and we make so much meaning about it when it comes to like, okay, well, I'm a size 14 at this store, but I'm a size 6 at this store, and we make so much meaning about those numbers. And what's really interesting and something that I always like to share with clients is that when you actually look at the process of fitting clothing, like when a store, let's say like Victoria's Secret, like fits a pair of underwear, they use one model. They use one model and they grade up and down based on her body type. And not everyone is her body type, right? So we don't take into consideration the uniqueness of women's bodies. And yeah, I love that you are actually working with them on that individual level to support them in feeling beautiful. It's so important.
Yes, yes. And also what I've found is that there are very few women that really fit off the rack. And, you know, I don't blame the fashion designers, and they need a fit model. And so they have a certain aesthetic and they use a fit model. But we as women don't know what that fit model is like. And almost everyone has slightly unique proportions. I mean, my story is that I'm very small. I'm 5'2". I come from little people stock. My mom was 4'11", and she called herself stinking short. Never liked being small. And I thought I was lucky to be 5'2". And my mother was an amazing seamstress, and I had all custom clothes all the way through high school. I got to design them. I got to pick the patterns, the fabrics, and everything. I had no idea what retail clothes would look like on me. And so I saw the magazine, said, I love that outfit. I want to wear that. Not interpreting that someone who's 5'2" is never going to look the same as someone who's 6 foot and has really long legs. And so skirts and pants, 5 to 7 inches too long. You know, purse handles too long, belts too small. I had to hire a cobbler, a jeweler, and a tailor to get my clothes to fit. But the thing is that we all are sort of in that same boat. And when you realize that there are regular sizes, what they call regular sizes, and you realize what pieces you can buy in regular sizes, like I have a very long torso, so jackets work pretty good for me because it's a little bit more representative of a length of a regular size torso, if you will. And so I know what pieces I can get. And then the other pieces, like I'm a petite, I cannot buy pants in regular sizes. I have to buy the petites. And I found Anthropologie is my go-to petite pant now. And everything else can be adjusted. So, you know, if you think you don't look good in clothes, it might just be that you don't know which pieces you can find in the stores, and then how to go about working with your proportions, your individual proportions, and balancing them. And there's a lot of fun ways that you can do that with clothing and accessories.
Yeah. And so, Linda, I'm curious if you were to give, like, I'm not going to give you a set number, but just some tips to the women who are watching right now, like what they can do on their own when they go into a store to either tune into what works for them, or like what clothes would make them feel beautiful, or like a way that they can boost their confidence going into that experience. Like, how would you support them through that?
Well, first of all, you just want to know what works for you. And so that does take some level of understanding. And a lot of that is what I do, is in educating women, so that when you know your best, most flattering, wonderful colors, and you know what sort of necklines enhance the shape of your face, and you know how to balance your waistline proportions, let's just say, I'm giving an example, then when you go into the store, you can say, well, 90% of that is not for me. But I am looking for something very specific. So a lot of it is really knowledge and information about your particular body and what works for you. And the yin yang quiz that I have is a real beginning to that, because it gives you an idea of what kind of clothes love your body. And of course, women can consult. I have a free consultation they can sign up for on my website, where we can discuss the questions that they have, because there really is a lot to know. And it's not like overnight you have great style. You know, it takes time to build it, to get to know what you really love, and to try different things. So, you know, that I think is real important. And I actually have just this last month published 3 different blog posts on your body proportions. And they actually show diagrams, and they tell you how to measure your bone size. So you measure your wrist in a certain way for your bone size, how to measure your upper and lower body proportions, your waist placement, and then the width of your shoulders and hips. And once you have those 3 things, then I have suggestions for all of those different proportions that are written right into the blog posts.
Amazing. Amazing. Yes. And so Karen is asking, can we get a link to her website? So yes, I am going to post a link to Linda's website in the description of this video, as well as the comment section.
Great.
Because I want to go read those blog posts right now, go take your quiz and all of those types of things. Even as somebody that worked in fashion, the longest time, like I had a really hard time dressing my body and finding things that worked for me, because I had a long torso and I have, you know, bigger thighs, all these types of things. Like I just always, and I fell into the trap of making my body wrong because of it, instead of trying to work with what is available and understand what actually looks best on my body. So that's incredible that you're doing this work, Linda, and I'm honored to know you, and I know that everyone who's watching the video live or watching the replay is going to get so much out of what you have to say. And I'm curious, is there any words of wisdom that you would want to leave everyone with before we complete?
Yes, I'll say this. I think that when you get ready in the morning and you get dressed, that should be a sacred time for you and your body, because here you are, you're picking your clothes out, and you're going to be standing in front of the mirror when you get dressed. So instead of the typical negatives, oh, this doesn't look good on me, you know, I'm too fat to wear these pants, or whatever the programming is in your brain that you say to yourself, that's where you can really start to change that and actually acknowledge your body. And when you look in the mirror and you're doing your makeup, say, wow, you are beautiful. You know, things like that, where it's an intimate time with yourself that can end up being a real celebration of yourself, because it's something that you're doing for you. And I just love it when I see that change. I'm sure that you do. When women really switch how they think about themselves, and they become so empowered in who they are. I mean, nothing is better than that. And that's what real beauty is.
I so agree with you, Linda. I love the idea of creating a sacred ritual around getting ready and honoring your body, taking care of your body, and dressing your body. So thank you for sharing that. And it's been such an honor chatting with you. And yeah, I'm curious, for those who are watching live and who are watching the replay, I'd love to hear what your takeaways are. Post those in the comment section. I will post Linda's website so you can check it, that consultation with her. And yeah, thank you again, Linda. And yeah, we'll see each other soon. Oh, guys, guess
all right.
what? Linda is
We're
going
to
be
see each other tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Karen,
And
who's a right now,
I'm actually doing, oh, great. Yeah, actually doing makeup for one of the top 10 women that to earn 10K in a month or something. I'm doing her makeup for her big stage presentation. So that's going to be fun. And I just can't wait to sit down with you, Holly, and say hello and meet other women, because this will be my first one. So.
Me too, Linda. Cannot wait to see you tomorrow. And yeah, I'm so glad we got this video to work. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And yeah,
Thank you.
bye everyone.
And thank you everyone for your